Welcome back to another episode of Schmegegge, the podcast. My name's Garrett Hazard. I am always welcomed by my colleague, roommate, best friend, Kyle Shear. Kyle, what is the Schmegegge of the day?
So Schmegegge of the day, I'm gonna go with the fact. Shit, hold on, I don't even remember.
All right. You want to start with the Berlin pool situation? What's going on there?
Ooh, true. So I was reading an article about how the Berlin pools are trying to open up to have topless people come to their public pools
Yeah.
permanently.
Mm-hmm.
We know the Germans are a little bit freaky.
Yeah,
So
you're getting down and dirty in the business.
I mean, we've heard of topless beaches, we've heard of nude beaches,
Mm-hmm.
even topless public pools.
I don't know. When you're going to a public pool, I know in America, typically people have shirts on, undergarments, those things. I feel like they're a little more open across the seas, though, across that big Atlantic Ocean.
I find that the more I watch YouTube or just videos about Europe, I don't know if it's because their quote unquote, civilizations are older,
Mm.
but yeah, they're definitely a lot more mature. And I feel like when us Americans look at it, we're like, ooh, boobies at the pool.
Yeah,
But they're like, oh no, it's just
it's just
it might
them.
it might be, for some other things. I feel like
Mm.
Europeans are really, really doing some more grown up things down there. They got a better mindset.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know, like, yeah, in America, like you like kind of like more like childish a little bit, just like boobies. But like, yeah, like across the border, maybe way across the border, there's more open to that stuff. And I know it's like there's a big movement here, just like not even a movement, just like a way of life, being more comfortable with like yourself and like body positivity and stuff. And I guess like once our society in America can kind of open up to that, maybe that's something that maybe we look into here. But I mean, yeah, I feel like there's more they're more open and more comfortable. Germany, France, all those other places in Europe.
I mean, I don't know who I'm preaching to, but since 2017, I have been a prime combatant component for Free the Nipple. So
Yeah. Whenever that started, it's been great.
I have
Do whatever you want.
I have seen it as a way of just, especially yourself. I mean, it's funny because you go to public pools. Mostly males have their shirts off
Mm,
and dipping and diving and jumping and rowing and swimming and whatever they do over there. They might
yeah.
have canoes and pools. I don't know what Berlin is like this time
Right.
of year,
I don't know. Ever since
but
they took that wall down.
yeah, well, it's already been like 45 years. But no, I think it's a good thing. We'll keep in touch with that story. We'll hit
Yeah.
our Berlin connections. We'll let them
Yeah,
know how it
our
goes.
foreign correspondent Andy will probably go over there and figure out what's going on. Moral of the
Yeah,
story: do whatever you want.
honestly, like you got one life to live. I mean, the old saying was the YOLO, but I
Mm,
think it's just time to say get on with it. Do
yeah,
what you
for
want.
real.
I feel that to
All
be
right.
important.
What else do you want to talk about today?
I think what we should talk about first to cover our segment, since a lot of the NCAA basketball, those conference
Mm,
championships
yeah.
picked up. Shout out my boys who love the Duke Blue Devils and my mother. They
Mm,
did in fact win the ACC. So I
mm.
know it's getting into that March Madness time
Oh yeah, it's madness already.
where a lot of people are going to be feeling the madness
Mm.
and betting on the madness.
Ooh.
So I think we should talk about emotions in sports.
Mm.
And is there some schmegigga to it? You know,
Yeah. I guess a little nonsense. I guess from my perspective, playing a lot of sports, doing a lot of sport related things, and then watching sports and like people that are just way above any sort of skill level that I could even fathom. It's just there's just like so many things that you don't even think about, and like watching it from like a high level and like trying to understand like the ins and outs of that game and trying to, I guess, like, oh, I watch a basketball game, maybe I'll try and do something like that when I go play basketball, or like even like with volleyball, like I see like a middle blocker doing this and I'll try and like perfect it in my game. Where the actual emotion comes into that, like I can understand how people get like a lot more emotional when they're playing, but like when I'm just like watching the sports, I don't necessarily get as like emotional. Like I like it's not like a make or break for my day if like my sports team like goes out and loses.
again with our character differences. And first of all, you had to take the personality test because you're
Mm,
100% a blue.
mm. Okay. Blue
Not
as like blue pill, red pill, or like what? Like what are
no
we
blue.
talking?
For some odd reason, when I was taking the test, when you calculated your numbers, your personality came out within a color range,
Okay.
and the color you
Like
had
Roy G. Biv.
listed. I mean, yeah, they're just colors. Not like
Okay, okay.
you're
I
not
didn't
gonna
know
get
if there was like a
you're not gonna get like
rainbow.
saddlewood or like or like or like
Chartreuse.
ruby
Yeah.
red or like
Mm-hmm.
tungsten. I
Oh,
think that's a
okay.
metal actually. I don't even think
Yeah.
it's a color, but yeah, no, it's just like my like I'm an orange, and you're gonna hear why. And
Okay.
an orange is like just someone who's like emotional, active,
Mm-hmm.
compulsive, like just like
Mm-hmm.
we're ready to go.
High energy,
Like when
high
they did
emotion.
when
Yeah,
they
I gotcha.
described me in like the coaching class, it
Mm-hmm.
was like man's not thinking logically. He's like, go out there and give it your all, and we're gonna come back with a win
Yeah,
type
yeah.
type stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I do, and I get results.
Mm-hmm.
Quantico Mourinho.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so with me, it's funny because I have gone into absurd arguments with grown men and women. I have been that guy on the side of the bar, just
Mm-hmm.
like yelling at people.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, honestly, if my favorite team loses in a day, like if it can affect my
The next few
entire day.
hours, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's just because of my passion. Like I have 99 of it if we were to put it into a stat book, but it's such a part of me, and it's what like I live in breathe. Like it's I feel because what we're going to talk to real quick to go on with this is like is it okay? I guess obviously okay, but like is it more so leaning towards nonsense of like, hey yo, like you're really about to like cry right now,
Mm, yeah.
when a team wins or loses,
Mm-hmm.
because I can tell you big game, and I'll be honest, like when my favorite club team Liverpool, up the Reds, they won the Champions League versus the Spurs 2019.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my room. It was the first time I'd ever watched them win the European Cup. And like I got like emotional. Like I got teary eyed. Like I'm wiping tears like off my Liverpool jersey. Like we
Mm-hmm.
did it. And I did the same thing when we won, the Premier League for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I dedicated an entire Instagram post to that shit. And like I remember like winning, like knowing we won the league, and I just like ran outside,
Mm-hmm.
like sprinted outside into my backyard and just like got on my knees. And then you saw me like when Liverpool lost in your car. Like I after we had
Oh
lost the
yeah.
league by
Mm-hmm.
1 point, like having that months and months of emotion, like all that roller coaster
Mm-hmm.
ride. Like I was so prepared to just like unbuckle my seatbelt and
Yep.
just jump out
Mm-hmm.
of a moving car
Yeah.
for a sport, like for a
Mm-hmm.
team. And is that a little bit on the kooky side? I don't know. How do you feel about it?
So I think with that, and I would understand if you felt that way, like when you're playing, like yeah, like I cried after my last volleyball game, like throwback to high school basketball. I was like, oh, I don't know if I'll ever play basketball again, like shit like that. Like, but like, and like even like coaching now, like that shit stresses me out because like I want the best for them, and I want them to like do the things that like I see on the court and make adjustments and things like that. But like when I'm just like watching people that are just like so far advanced from what I could do, it's kind of just like that's out of my hands. Like I can't worry about that, and I can't let that get to me because like I can't put myself in that situation and like potentially like make it better. Whereas like when I'm coaching or like when I'm playing or like when I'm watching people like at my skill level, I'm just like, damn, I wish excuse me. Damn, I wish that were me, or like damn, I wish I was in that situation. Like if I'm watching that stuff, like even like I don't play hockey, but like even like when I watch the Bruins and like they lose, like it's like okay, well like they'll get the next one, or like the Celtics when I'm like okay, like they'll get the next one, like stuff like that. But like I can't put myself in that situation and be like, damn, I wish I could have made that 3 point. I wish I could, because like there's no way in hell that like I'd be in the NBA. Or it's like some crazy shit like that. So it's like it's out of my hands, and I don't let it get to me.
Oh yeah, from taking pieces of that, I can agree. I'm not one of those people who is like, oh man, like you put me in there, like I could have
Right,
made that
right.
shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's ridiculous. That
Mm-hmm.
like you said, like they're the best of the best. But And maybe it's different because I can tell you right now, even though I am American. I was born in New York.
Mm-hmm.
I do not follow American teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like I literally only chose American teams in the eighth grade just so I could like talk with my friends at lunch because at
Mm-hmm.
that point nobody wanted to talk about soccer. I can't walk into you guys who are like, oh yeah, like the New England Patriots beat the Miami Dolphins, and I'm like, no one saw the Newcastle Fulham game, guys. Like that was a 1-1 draw to the T. Like you want to talk about it?
Right.
So like that club like in just soccer like that's all I have.
Mm-hmm.
And like yeah, like if I were like picking up a lesson, like yeah, like do I like NYCFC? Yeah, they won the MLS Cup. Didn't give two craps about it
Mm-hmm.
because like okay, like that's just like something else. It's like part of it. Okay, it's more sport to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But like the sole team that I have loved that I have watched for a long time, we're talking over a decade, like
Mm-hmm.
that's all I have. That's all
Mm-hmm.
I care about when it comes to sports.
Right.
And like I feel like a lot of people feel the same way. Like we go back. Like I remember when the Philadelphia Eagles won their Super Bowl. What was that
Mm-hmm. 18, something like that. Yeah,
2018?
something like that.
Like
19.
I had an assistant coach who was from Pennsylvania. Was a diehard fan. This was a grown man,
Mm-hmm.
and like he like called one of our boys like completely fucked up, being like, "Oh my god, like we won the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
this is a great feeling." So even though you won't be upset or you'd be like, "Oh yeah, the Celtics will get it next time."
Mm-hmm.
Now, how about if they win? Is there more of an emotion, or are you still just okay? Yep, they won. Nice.
I'm happy. Yeah, for like the next like whatever amount of time, it's just like, oh, like they're the NBA champions. Like I don't. I
But you're
guess
not screaming at the rooftop. You're not tweeting it. You're not saying that.
not really.
You're
I
not.
mean, I'm trying to think. Like the Celtics haven't won since 2008. I didn't have Twitter back then. Um, I think. Well, I'm. You guys can tell by the flag. I'm a very spoiled Boston sports fan. So like I have seen a fair amount of championships, and I guess maybe that's a reason why I'm not necessarily like numb to losing because I'm just like they'll go out and win the chip. Like whenever like the Patriots would lose in like regular season, like in literally in college, I think I watched like 3 Super Bowl wins out of the 4 years I was in undergrad. So yeah, like I'm very spoiled in that sense. Like the Red Sox won a few World Series, the Bruins won 2 Stanley Cups, and the Celtics won in '08, and they're gonna go back this year too. They're gonna win.
Yeah, yeah. You're numb to the disappointment. Is
Yeah,
what it sounds like.
I guess it's yeah, I'm more or less numb to that like regular season game. What are the playoff implications? Like when Esteban was talking about like, oh, Knicks beat the Celtics twice. I'm like, all right, yeah, how's sixth place in the East treating you? It's like, all right, cool, you won 2 games and then you lose 4 straight. Suck on that, yeah. All right.
See, it's a,
Mm-hmm.
it's a little bit, a little bit. I'm just saying. I think we'll come back in like a couple of years with I don't wish ill on Boston sports, obviously,
Mm.
but I'm just saying like maybe when you feel like that true heartbreak of just like constantly losing, constantly being bad.
Well, and so
You
let
you
me
you
I'll
you
say
form
this.
this kind of like
I'll say this. If the Celtics go to the finals and lose again this year, I'll be upset, but like not to the point of like crying or like trying to belittle other people. Like I'm not gonna go like do like outrageous things because they lose. Like like you like when you're talking about crying. Like I don't know if I'll cry if the Celtics lose. Like it's just like damn they lost.
I yeah, I don't think I've ever cried tears of sadness.
Mm.
I've just been like completely angry.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember when when Liverpool lost 3-1 in the 2018 Champions League final. I remember like turning off the TV and my mom being like, "So hey, what do you want for dinner?" And like I just like was already upstairs. I just like shut the door and like my head just hit the pillow
Oh my
and I was just
gosh.
like done. And like you get over it obviously because like
Mm.
again you're not a player
Mm-hmm.
so you can't just like dwell on it for too long. But the other difference is though is that I've come in contact with such wonderful people in my life who also love the game, who they're just a little bit of dicks, and we're just constantly on each other's throats. When it comes to teams winning, losing, drawing,
Hmm.
dropping points,
Yeah, and when you're in that
things like that.
culture, you're gonna then rebuttal, and then that's gonna like form like these like
Yeah,
you're gonna start caring because like other people care,
yeah,
and like I understand that. And I guess like I'm trying to think like I don't know if anybody's like ever really cared that much about like the NBA where I have to like be like, yeah, I mean the Celtics are better or whatnot.
well, again, yeah, that's why in my in my mind, I could probably find facts and figures about it. Like, it's not nonsense. Like that's why soccer is the greatest sport on the planet,
Because like all the games matter.
because like everything matters. Like the fact like you watch like even massive tournaments, like you will see like kids crying, and you would see like grandmas and grandpas just like
Right.
bawling their eyes out like after watching their team lose. So again, going on that like more American sports, because I know American sports like already commercialized, like
There's just
everything
more options.
everything's scripted. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
So do we think like stuff like rivalries and like watching those? I remember watching a clip which I thought was complete nonsense of that grown man knocking like the fuck out of the kid at the football game. I don't know if you ever saw that clip.
Nah.
Not the one with the hockey because that kid said a racial slur, but there was one where like they was talking like they were like in like the third row like this football like this NFL game,
Mhm.
and like dude just pop,
Oh, I think I remember it. Yeah.
and like is that taking it too far?
Oh
Yes, but like
yeah.
I also feel like there's like this hype and like this almost like routine because like why do Boston fans hate Yankee fans, and like why like when you
Oh.
go to these places like as a Yankee fan like you get chirped,
Mm.
like you get talked to, and it's like are you just like doing this because like that's what you do, or is it because like, you have passion, or you just generally hate this other sports franchise?
Yeah,
Like
I
let's put it
think
that way.
from the Boston perspective, I'd like yeah, I don't know if I like I don't hate Yankee fans, but then there are some people that are like, "Oh, Yankees are worst franchise in MLB history, this that and other thing." And like it kind of stems back from like when the owner of the Red Sox like sold Babe Ruth to the Yankees and like Babe Ruth went on to win however many championships with the Yankees at that time. And then the Red Sox didn't win a World Series from like 1918 to like 2004, like some shit like that. So I think through that period, Boston sports fans were like looking for like something to like kind of like pinpoint their anger, and they were like, "Ooh, the Yankees took this guy from us that was really good, so we're gonna hate the Yankees now." And then it's just generations of people like going off of, "Oh, we hate the Yankees now, so we're gonna keep hating the Yankees." But now, like today, like I think people just do it because like past generations of people did it. I don't know if people like actually like from like a personal standpoint like hate Yankee fans. It's more of just like a camaraderie, like oh Yankees suck, like stuff like that.
I got you. So it's really so in a way it is just like childhood nonsense.
Yeah, it's just
Like there's no
camaraderie. Like
real.
it's just the life of the game. It's just like it just adds another element to it. Because like 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 the fans like they say in like the soccer the 12th man, or like in football the
Yeah,
12th man, like things like that. Like
yeah.
momentum and like energy can change like the game, like it can inspire the
Oh yeah.
players. Like from that standpoint, yeah, like when you like I went to a Red Sox Yankee game a couple of years ago, and me and my brother were like a part of a whole group of people that were just chirping Aaron Judge the whole time, just like saying random stuff, and like that was just like that energy. Like I think he missed a fly ball or something like that. Like he might have went like 0 for 4 or something, and like the Red Sox ended up winning. So like we felt like we were contributing to that because we provided that energy and like I guess negative energy towards that
Yeah.
guy.
I would like to know if in terms of just like intensity, like who has more intensity, like Europeans when it comes to
Oh, I would say
football,
Europeans because well,
they're
you got to
they're
think.
crazy.
Well, I was gonna say one just like level of intensity, like yeah, crazy perspective. I think it's because soccer is like the one sport that they have.
That's
Where in
what I
like
mean. Yeah,
America,
yeah. It
in
comes down to
America, there's like oh, I got a basketball team, I got a baseball team, I got a football team, I got a
they
hockey
all,
team.
yeah, all
So
of
you
them.
have like different outlets for like your energy or like your focus and things like that.
Yeah, if one team is doing poorly, well, maybe one team
Right,
is doing
right.
well, or it's just
Like when the Red Sox were like last in the AL East, but I was like, oh, the NBA is starting soon. Celtics got like the best record
you
in
got
the
a new
league.
you got a new
So
chapter of
yeah,
another
yeah. So I
series.
was like, okay, Red Sox season's done, but I'm gonna watch the Celtics now. So yeah, stuff like that. And then, like even like with the Patriots, like they pretty sure they were like third in the AFC East, but like the Celtics were still first in the East, and like the Bruins are like the best team in hockey. So it's like it's like I have other ways to not be mad.
Now that's professional.
Mm,
I want to now talk about the NCAA
okay.
and are people who get hyped over NCAA. Is that nonsense?
Yeah, yeah. Like college sports, just because
Yeah.
like the level of college sports. No disrespect to college athletes. It's like I'm pretty sure like what's the stat? Like 0.002% actually end up going pro out of all the college athletes. Like yeah, like it's like you're getting mad at someone who just had like 6 hours of classes and like had to get on a flight after their 8 a.m. class to go play a basketball game where like hundreds of thousands of dollars for the programs on the line. And like, I don't know if you saw the video, but like the 64 teams that make it to the NCAA tournament get like off rip, they get like 400K for their program for the next 5 years because they made it to the tournament that one year. So these kids that are like 15, 16 seeds that like ended up either winning their conference or getting the at large bid, these
That's
these
massive.
guys are still going to classes and now they got the entire basketball program on the line to, to go win this game to get more money for so that their alma mater could be better for years coming. And like you're just like when you're not a professional
I get it.
athlete and you have other responsibilities other than being an athlete, it's like it's tough to be like that guy in sports. And like obviously there are those people like that are like obviously standouts that are gonna go pro, but then there are people that are just playing the game like because they love the game, and like sometimes they don't live up to expectations, and then like you're getting mad at someone that's like not gonna go pro. It's
Yeah.
like that's a weird way to channel your anger.
Yeah, and you have to and again I feel like I'm throwing a tad bit of shade, unfortunately. But you have to have some type of really special connection or have been a part of the program or even an alumni of the school.
Mm-hmm.
I find it preposterous if you are like a college sports fan
Mm-hmm.
and you like live and breathe and die and you go watch games and you like never were actually a part
Right.
of any of it.
Like someone from like Oneana, like went to SUNY Oneana. They're like, oh, I'm a huge UCLA fan.
Yeah,
Like they're winning they're
yeah,
winning the NCAA basketball tournament this year.
yeah,
They're sick at volleyball. Like love UCLA. It's like why?
yeah.
Like
Like it's foolish, and I think it's funny because one of my boys, he loves everything Arkansas, Pig Zooey,
mm,
just because for like a period of time he lived in Arkansas because he was
mm,
born in Vegas, and I'm like, you know what? That's fair. Childhood, you're there. Like
mm,
I get it. You have a
mm.
connection. Like that's
Yeah.
fine. But you can't just like a college sports team.
Yeah, I think it's weird.
If you have like no, we're saying like not like oh like you love watching sports, so you watch all sports. We have friends like that, which
Mm,
is totally fine. You want to watch
yeah.
every sport or every game you can of a sport,
Mm,
but you can't be a diehard fan or respect a team for like a community or college you were never a part of, or you
yeah.
were never represented by.
Yeah.
You can't just like do those things. You can't. That's why I think it's funny. Then that's like super like charged. Like, I remember when I worked at CYC,
Mm,
and like every kid from the age of like 7 to 12 who liked a sport, what were they rocking? Duke,
mm,
Alabama,
yeah.
Syracuse,
Mm-hmm.
UCLA, and it's like you have like no idea what's going
Mm-hmm.
on, and the only way I can like even respond to you is if like maybe one of your parents was an alumni
Right,
and like
right.
that's it. But like
Mm-hmm.
you can't just like choose a team because like you hear about them all the time because they're the biggest programs.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like you know what I mean? Like unless you have like some kind of in,
Mm-hmm.
nah, I can't take
I
that.
think
That's where I
it's
draw the
yeah,
line of like
yeah.
you
It's
can't
weird,
like that.
especially for like little kids like that, because maybe they're like trying to like manifest something, and maybe they don't even understand that concept yet. But like, oh, I'm gonna like Alabama because like I want to go to Alabama one day because they're really good at football, and I want to be good at football. But like, if that's the case, why wouldn't you just go a step further and be like, I wanna like I like the Patriots or I like the Seahawks because I want to play for the Seahawks one day. Like
Yeah,
why stop at college and
yeah,
really care about college when that's not the peak?
yeah. It's not the end game.
Right.
Yeah,
So yeah, I guess that's where I would draw. And I also I like the people that like try to like trace like lineage back to the college that they like for no reason. It's like, oh, I got a buddy whose brother was who was the athletic trainer for the girls swim team. It's like, all right, that's a stretch, but like if you do whatever you want to do,
it's like all right, whatever.
just don't get mad and don't talk to me about it because I
We're not care.
yeah.
I will. I think the only college I watch is just March Madness just because like
Mm,
it seems so hype.
yeah.
But I have never actually watched a game unless someone I knew was playing in it,
Oh yeah,
and that's
yeah.
it.
Especially like college basketball. I remember, and I guess this is like when I was like 12, 13 years old, whenever Anthony Davis was playing for Kentucky, I was like, ooh, I like Anthony Davis because he's really good. He was on Team USA. So I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'll watch Kentucky basketball for the next few years. And like when we were doing our brackets back in high school,
Yeah,
I would always be like, oh, Kentucky gonna win. But
yeah,
then like when you grow up and you're just like, oh, that's not the end goal. It's just like then you stop like caring about like a college and then you
yeah,
start going on to like bigger and better things.
yeah. It's that term. It's that. It's just that realization. It's like yeah, no, they're kids like playing a sport.
Mhm.
Like I shout out they get paid now
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
somewhat
name, image, likeness. Yeah.
somewhat. So I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that from the NCAA.
Yeah.
And now, what about with sports and like relationships? You think like that's nonsense in terms of like you can't be friends with somebody who likes a different team or like oh
Oh,
like your girl like
I
I
don't
always
care
thought that
about
was
that.
funny. I always thought that was just like again like a younger thing to do. I remember being like 8 or 9 years old being like I'll never date an Everton fan. No way, Jose.
I think that's such like a flirty thing. It's just like, oh, I don't like you because you're a whatever fan, and then like, and I'm
Yeah,
this fan, and then like, whatever tensions build up to the big game, and then like after that, like you go on and do your thing. But like, yeah, I think it's more of a flirty thing than anything. Like, I don't care if my significant other likes a basketball team that I don't like.
oh yeah, this is something that like you grow out of.
Yeah, yeah, like it doesn't matter. Like, and from like a sports perspective, yeah, like a more personal level, like are you really not gonna propose to the person that you love because they're a whatever fan? Like
Yeah,
that's insane.
but they just again like they just have to accept me for how I am because when it
Mm.
comes down to
Mm.
it, like it might sound like just again complete nonsense or far fetched, but like you invite me to a wedding
Mm.
and Liverpool is playing, I'm having my phone
Respectfully, yeah.
in the
That's
seat.
yeah.
Like I'm waking up.
As long as
I'm
you're
waking
not
you up Sunday,
yeah.
Saturday mornings
Mm.
because I'm screaming.
Mm. Yeah, as long as
Like I'm seeing you Wednesday
mm.
nights. Like it's just it's a wrap at that point. You either have to just be like, "Yup, that's his thing, but it's not his only thing." But
Mm.
I'm like, nah, like that's
Yeah. I think
just
yeah, you
freaking out no matter
obviously
what.
I think the moral of this is like whoever you like, but like don't get mad at other people for what they like. I feel like that's a good concept to live by. And like if you really care about something, obviously care about it, but like don't make it like
Don't overdo it.
yeah, don't overdo it. Don't
This,
go out and do dumb things because of how a team that you aren't on
yeah,
is playing.
the club and the sport will always be so much bigger than you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So there's no need to.
I
They're
think
not thinking about you. They're
right,
not
yeah,
thinking.
and I think yeah, the bigger thing is like yeah, if you're not on the team and you're not contributing to it, then like there's no reason to like do anything crazy because of that success or lack thereof. Like if you're actually playing, then yeah, like you have every right to care and cry and all those things. But yeah, like if you're just watching it, then don't do anything stupid because of how they play.
Yeah, and that's why I think I really like. That's why I'm excited to one day go across the pond and go see Liverpool play at Anfield.
Mm.
I think then I'm gonna realize being like, oh my god, like
These guys care so much more.
yeah, like I thought I was like a massive fan, like I'm
Mm.
tatted with all this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
blah blah blah, and I'm looking at that like no, like
Yeah.
I'm as basic as can be when it comes to like real die hard like born Liverpool.
Mm. Well,
I
that's
find that
our
to be
nonsense sports talk. You wanted to talk about people driving normal
oh
cars?
my
Yeah.
gosh, dude! I was because every time I drive somewhere on an interstate or a highway, I am so fed up with the many heart attacks that I get when I see people
Mm-hmm.
driving making models of
Mm-hmm.
cop cars that aren't cops, and I know every single person can relate to this.
Yeah. If you drive like a Ford Focus, don't. Like there are so many better cars for you to drive that don't look like cop cars so that people don't have those like panic attacks on the highway.
Dude, I will constantly be driving. It is a 65-mile-an-hour zone. I am touching 77.
Mm-hmm.
All I see out of my rearview mirror
Mm-hmm.
is an all white SUV
Mm-hmm.
Ford model.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, it's a wrap.
Yep.
And I'll begin to slow down. I'll see
Yep.
the car catch me and I'll be like, you're not even a cop.
Yeah.
You're not even a statey. Why do you choose to drive this vehicle?
Mm-hmm. It's not cheaper than other cars. Like
no,
it's
like Chargers and
there's
stuff, like people have like it's just
you
ridiculous.
can do better. If you drive one of those cars, sell it, you can do better. Great. The pre-owned car market's great right now. So go do yourself a favor, sell your car, go buy a car that isn't a cop car, and you might save somebody a panic attack.
You're saving lives. When
Yeah,
you have a panic attack, you're lessening a couple seconds on your life.
absolutely.
You're so worried. And
Mm-hmm.
it happens to me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I don't like it. Ford, I know you're trying to like go electric or something. Stop making it. Discontinue these
Mm-hmm.
model of cars and leave them to just be cops.
Yeah. I don't know what other states have for their police vehicles, but I know in New York, yeah, like the state trooper vehicles are like Ford Escapes, Ford Tauruses, like things like that. Yeah, Chargers, Dodge Chargers, just don't drive those cars. Well, I guess if you do, make it a color that's not like a darker color. Like keep it like bright so that we understand that like you're not a cop car. Because yeah, I mean your heart beats what like 2 billion times your entire life. If it beats 5 times really quickly because you see a car that's not a cop car but you think it's a cop car, then yeah, you're taking seconds off my life, and I don't appreciate that.
Yeah, like we already have so much to deal with. I can't handle a ticket,
Yeah.
and so like I'm just always cautious and
Mm-hmm.
you know they're already out to get us. They already got two of us.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, at the end of the day, like, what can you do? And again, like, cops are hiding too, which I also just don't like at all.
Yeah, especially like at nighttime. Like you'll be driving past a bridge, and then they'll just be like I've learned that there's the guy that records your speed,
Yeah.
and then like a half mile up the road, there's a guy that's chilling behind like some shrubbery, and he'll just dart out and get you. He's like, you know how fast I got you, and I'd be like, I don't know how much you've got me, but I know the other guy back there got me doing however fast. Yeah.
Yeah. So just we're always on alert. We're always cautious. Just help a brother, help a sister out.
Don't speed either. How about that? Don't speed. Don't speed. And I guess so that's 1A. 1B, don't drive a car that's also a cop car.
Yeah. So anything else to talk about? Yeah, I want everyone to know real quick that I've been hearing a lot of stuff on social media about like, oh, geez, handsome white guys doing a podcast.
Yeah.
We're here to break the stigma.
Yeah.
We're not here to talk about any straight opinions and stuff that's just we're here to have fun, make you think about some stuff. We're trying to be relatable.
Don't get us wrong.
We're not. We're just basic, everyday average.
Don't get us wrong. We are still two handsome white guys, but we're your two handsome white guys.
Come on,
coming to you.
Schmegegge, baby. Come on.
And with that, we're gonna wrap it up. Catch you on the next episode. Thanks so much for watching.